There are stories that touch the heart. And then there are stories that change the way we look at love itself. This is one of them. In a quiet corner of India, deep in the outskirts of Madhya Pradesh, a heartbreaking tragedy gave birth to a miraculous bond that stunned even the most seasoned wildlife experts. A tigress, strong, fierce, and beautiful, gave birth to 3 cubs in a protected forest area. But only weeks after giving birth, she was tragically killed, possibly in a territorial fight or by poachers. The tiny cubs were left alone, vulnerable and without any hope of survival. Normally in the wild, this would be the end of their story. But fate had other plans. The forest rangers, upon discovering the orphaned cubs, rushed them to a nearby rescue center. They were weak, scared, and barely able to open their eyes. Their survival was hanging by a thread. So enter Ganga, a native Indian dog, a stray who had recently lost her own litter of puppies. She wandered around the rescue center, grieving and, looking for something that even she didn't quite understand. And then, it happened. The caretakers, honestly out of desperation, introduced the 3 tiger cubs to Ganga. At first, there was just silence. The dog sniffed them gently. The cubs, sensing warmth and life, whimpered and crawled toward her. And in that moment, something magical happened. Ganga laid down and let them feed. She accepted them, not as cubs, but as her own children. From that day on, the dog and the cubs were inseparable. She cleaned them, nursed them, protected them, and even growled at the caretakers when they got too close. Days turned into weeks, and the cubs began to grow. They became stronger, wilder, and undeniably tiger-like. But to Ganga, they were still her babies. And the cubs, despite their growing size, their instincts, and their strength, they still followed her like little puppies. They never roared at her, never bared their teeth. To them, she was Mama. Today, those tiger cubs are fully grown and live in a wildlife zoo in Bhopal. They're majestic, powerful, a true sight to behold. Visitors stand in awe as these massive tigers behave unusually calm when Ganga is brought near their enclosure. They nuzzle the fence. They make soft sounds. They crouch like little cubs again, because no matter how big they grow, to them, she'll always be their mother. A dog who raised tigers, a mother who saw no species, no size, no stripes or spots, only love. Because sometimes family isn't about blood, it's about heart. This story is inspired by real-life incidents reported from wildlife rescue centers in India and Russia, where dogs have adopted big cat cubs. One notable incident occurred in Madhya Pradesh, and another in Russia, where a dog raised an orphaned tiger cub in a zoo. The events have been slightly dramatized for narrative effect.